Hey everyone, and welcome to this explainer. Today, we're breaking down the absolutely crucial current affairs of June 2026. Whether you're tracking global diplomacy or historic sports milestones, we've distilled everything you need to know into a fast, highly focused journey.
Okay, so here's our roadmap for today. We'll be covering global diplomacy and geopolitics, Indian governance and milestones, innovation, defense and environment, historic sports records, and finally, awards and personal triumphs. Let's dive right in.
Section 1. Global Diplomacy and Geopolitics. We're starting our journey by looking outward at the massive geopolitical shifts that hit in mid-June. Now, the global economic impact of unblocking this vital West Asian oil route literally cannot be overstated. On June 15th, an initial peace agreement paved the way for a 14-point memorandum of understanding between the U.S. and Iran. This established a 60-day ceasefire, complete with international nuclear monitoring. But crucially, it reinstated toll-free shipping right through the Strait of Hormuz, which instantly stabilizes a critical artery for our global energy security. Well, while the U.S. and Iran are stabilizing, a sudden, massive political flux is unfolding over in the United Kingdom. Facing mounting pressure from within the Labour Party, Prime Minister Keir Starmer actually stepped down on June 22nd. This triggered a July leadership race, meaning by September 2026, the UK could be welcoming its 7th Prime Minister in just a decade. Right now, Andy Burnham is emerging as a leading contender.
You're going to want to keep these next names in mind. Over in Evian-les-Bains, France, the 52nd G7 summit put a huge spotlight on AI regulation in the global south, and Prime Minister Narendra Modi actually attended as a special invitee. Simultaneously, in a massive diplomatic win, India's Vivek Agarwal was appointed vice president of the FATF. That's the global financial watchdog, so this really reinforces India's commitment to combating illicit financial networks on the world stage.
Moving on to Section 2, Indian governance and milestones. Let's see how these high-level developments are shaping India's domestic landscape. 4,399. The crucial takeaway here is that on June 10th, PM Narendra Modi reached exactly 4,399 consecutive days in office. By hitting this precise number, he surpassed the record previously held by Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru, officially making him India's longest-serving elected prime minister. Spanning 3 consecutive terms since May 2014, this whole era has been heavily defined by digital governance and massive infrastructure development.
Looking back historically, June 25th marked a major constitutional observance. The government officially designated the 50-year anniversary of the 1975 emergency as Samvidhan Hati Diwas. This day looks back exactly half a century to when Article 352 was invoked. That move suspended fundamental rights under Article 19 and imposed strict press censorship, so this observance serves as an official reflection on India's constitutional boundaries.
Okay, I love the systematic approach of this next one, the proposed Country Roads project. It aims to digitally map over 6 lakh Indian villages. Just imagine every single road, from a massive national highway all the way down to a remote village dirt path, having its own unique alphanumeric code. By integrating this with existing rural road schemes and popping up QR-enabled signboards, emergency response and postal services are about to become incredibly precise across the entire nation.
Now, if you track economics, the new Index of Services Production, or ISP metric, is a detail you absolutely must memorize. Much like how we track industrial production, this is our brand new benchmark for the services sector, which, by the way, contributes over 50% of India's economy. Using 2024-25 as a base year, this monthly indicator is a real game-changer for economic monitoring. Alongside this, after 8 long years of stalling, 6 states finally greenlit the 15,000 crore rupee Kishau Dam project to rejuvenate the Yamuna River, which perfectly aligns with the Sustainable Development Goals discussed at the recent 11th NITI Aayog meeting.
All right, let's shift gears to Section 3, Innovation, Defense, and Environment. Notice how both of these major technological leaps, one corporate and one literally extraterrestrial, are fundamentally focused on securing future resources. In Jamnagar, Gujarat, Reliance and Meta are building a 168-megawatt AI hyperscale data center running entirely on renewables, tapping into Meta's global subsea cable network. Meanwhile, 250,000 miles away from all that, China's Chang'e 7 mission achieved a massive breakthrough by extracting water molecules from the moon's permanently shadowed South Pole. That is a vital, totally essential step for future human lunar habitation.
We really need to understand this definition of El Niño right now, because it's the exact mechanism disrupting agricultural forecasts across India this year. This warming alters global atmospheric circulation, basically reducing the moisture transport towards the subcontinent. As a direct result, the Indian Meteorological Department reported a massive rainfall deficit of up to 64% in early June. This puts rain-fed crops like rice and cotton at serious risk.
But while the monsoon faces a severe deficit, India's industrial sector saw a massive surge, firmly establishing the nation as the world's leading ship recycling hub. India's global share jumped from 30.1% to an impressive 35.4% in just 1 year, processing nearly 3 million gross tons. This is a direct testament to successful policy reforms and strict adherence to international environmental standards.
The overarching theme for these updates is absolutely Atmanirbhar Bharat, or self-reliance, showcasing profound indigenous growth in both maritime defense and higher education. The Navy added the indigenous warships INS Agray, Dunagiri, and Sanshodak to its fleet, while the Coast Guard received its first indigenous hovercraft in Goa, which is fully capable of navigating shallow waters and mudflats. Simultaneously, on the academic front, India made a triumphant leap to the 5th position globally in the QS World University Rankings. We have a record 52 universities featured, led by IIT Delhi jumping up to the 118th spot. Let's bring the energy up for Section 4, Historic Sports Records. We had a month that absolutely shattered some long-standing numbers. The landscape of FIFA World Cup history was fundamentally rewritten in June 2026. Lionel Messi officially surpassed Miroslav Klose's long-standing record of 16 goals, cementing his incredible legacy at the very top with 18 total World Cup goals.
So the crucial point here is that while Messi holds the crown right now, Mbappe's youth and scoring pace make this a highly dynamic rivalry for future tournaments. Sitting at 16 goals and just 27 years old, the French superstar is well within striking distance of breaking Messi's newly minted record in the coming years.
Now remember that this North American World Cup isn't just the largest ever with a record 48 teams. It also features a massive milestone for Indian diaspora representation. When New Zealand played Iran, 27-year-old Sarpreet Singh made history as the very first Indian-origin footballer to ever start a FIFA World Cup match.
We're also seeing some wildly surging momentum in women's sports right now. The Indian hockey team secured a critical international promotion through a flawless defense, actually defeating host New Zealand 2-0 to win the FIH Women's Nations Cup and earning a coveted spot in the Pro League. Over in cricket, the 10th ICC Women's T20 World Cup commenced in England and Wales, expanding to a record 12 teams, with India chasing its first ever title under the leadership of Harmanpreet Kaur.
Finally, let's wrap up this explainer with Section 5, Awards and Personal Triumphs.
These honors span from the cricket pitch to the cinematic arts and all the way to prime ministerial diplomacy in Central Europe. President Murmu bestowed 131 Padma Awards to national icons, including Rohit Sharma, Mammootty, and Alka Yagnik. Internationally, during the first ever visit by an Indian Prime Minister to Slovakia since its 1993 independence, PM Modi was awarded the Order of the White Double Cross. And back home, Vice President Radhakrishnan celebrated India's civilizational unity by releasing a book honoring the legacy of Sage Agathir. I want you to let this number sink in. 19. It represents the incredible 19 competitive exams successfully cleared by 23-year-old Sharu Pandey from Chhattisgarh. It is a true masterclass in perseverance. From SSCCGL to banking exams, her relentless consistency earned her a special invitation to the at-home honor at Rashtrapati Bhavan. It really goes to show exactly what dedicated, focused learning can achieve.
As we conclude this highly focused recap, I want to leave you with this question to ponder. From sweeping AI data centers to historic global peace treaties, which of these June 2026 milestones do you think will shape our future the most? Keep exploring, keep connecting the dots, and use these insights to ace your goals. See you in the next explainer.